Hello and welcome to episode 6 of deValiante Plays Arcade Spirits by Fiction Factory Games. This visual novel was part of Humble Bundle's bundle for racial justice and equality. Arcade Spirits is categorically a dating sim visual novel, though it does have the option to be played with no romance. However, I am playing with romance on. There is some mild to strong language, so please proceed at your own discretion. Now, without further ado, let's get started.
Level 6. Hit the lever. Hit the lever. It's the future year 20XX, and my dream has come true. Okay, let's be honest. If you asked me 2 months ago if my dream involved being the event coordinator at a video arcade, I'd have stared at you kind of funny. Even now, it sounds ridiculous. But it's true. I'm here, I am successful, I'm happy. And this is my dream. Ever since Funplex Suplex business has been booming. The Funplex is packed with players day in, day out. Kids, teens, the college crowd, the nostalgic ones looking for old games they remember. I've run these 3 events so far. We've started rotating our games out of storage and into play to keep things fresh. The high scoreboards are constantly shifting. In fact, things are going so well, Gavin's hinted that maybe we should start looking into a second location. But this will always be home. Seeing the smiles on coworkers and gamers alike, watching my friends laugh and play in good spirits, that's working for me and it's bringing me joy in turn. I won't argue why. In fact, I barely understand why. But I'm happy. And that's better than I've been in years of going with the flow. Going with the flow never brought me this much enjoyment. I'd say by this point I've soundly broken the family curse. Maybe everything doesn't have to fall apart from under me. Maybe I can just be happy. Maybe this is where I'm meant to be. Sign here, please. Huh? A bicycle messenger nudges a slim envelope my way again, trying to catch my attention. I'm snapped out of my happy little trance immediately. Oh, right, no problem. After jotting down my signature, he drops off the envelope and heads right on out the door. No time for Moopy, or around a pinball it seems. Deliveries to make. Curious, I open it up. Diva in your face, you are cordially invited to dine and discuss business matters at Deco's Palace with CEO Deco Nami. Meeting time will be 7 in the evening sharp. You may bring a guest of your choosing. Free Royal Value swipe card available for enjoyment of games prior to meeting. What? I read through it a few more times trying to parse all the curlicues and swirls and swooshes, although that doesn't clear my confusion of the whole matter. Soon Francine looks up from her knitting, curious about the letter as well, although she seems to already have an idea of what it is. I suppose it's about that time, isn't it? Huh?
Oh, dear.
Time for that fellow to make another attempt at wooing me. Double, huh? Rather at wooing my beloved Funplex. Let me guess. Deco Nami of Deco's Palace sent you a fancy invitation with all sorts of fancy writing. That's accurate, yes. It's not the first time. He invited my dear Frederick and I over in 1980X to talk about selling the Funplex, and we turned him down flat. Then in 1990X, when home game consoles were poised to take back the arcade crowd, he suggested we sell. We turned him down. Now it's 20XX and he is at it again. A gentleman would know when to quit, but he's got tenacity and can't fault him for that. Why would a big arcade operator like Deco Nami care that much about us? We're small time. No offense. Come now, if anyone should be offended, it's you, calling yourself small time. Diva dear, you've put in so much work to make my little arcade soar. I bet that's why he's knocking on our door again. We're thriving, and that's lured him back in. Like gear cheese in the mousetrap. So, wait, are we the cheese or the trap?
My, oh my.
That depends on how clever you are, my dear. Right, so I'm the cheese. Although I prefer to be a nice mozzarella. Cheese types aside, do you want me to ignore the invite then? Oh, heavens, no! Contrary to what people say about the fellow, he's very much a man of his word. I always accept his invitation. I'll always hear him out. It's only fair and proper. I thought he was like the arcade scene's greatest evildoer.
Let's be sensible.
That's a bit grandiose, no? Certainly plenty of rumors of his questionable methods abound, but that's all they are. Rumors. Politeness should be met with politeness. That's how you conduct proper business, and that's what the Funplex is all about. Francine moves to rise from her seat near the ticket desk. I just noticed her bracelet, and I just really like that bracelet. But pauses, leaning heavily on the glass countertop while looking strained. I move to help, but she waves me away and sits back down. Oh, don't worry about little old me. I just stood up too quickly, that's all. Just out of breath. But, Diva, I think it'd be best if you go in my stead. Me? Let's be serious now. These old bones aren't as spry as they once were. And I think you'd have a good time there. Well, an interesting time at any rate. Let's see. What do my dice say? 1 and 2. I'll look my dapperest for the villainous, gentlemen. 3 and 4. You can count on me. I'll represent the Funplex. 5 and 6. Shouldn't Davin go? He outranks me. 6. Hang on. Why me? I mean, the letter was addressed to you, child. Like, it literally said, Diva, in your face. You're cordially invited. That's you. That's why you go. Whatever. Hang on. Why me? Shouldn't Gavin go? He's the business manager. Gavin's already got his plate full. You've shown us your passion for the Funplex, and we know you've got what it takes. You saw a bit of it at Donnerwood, a bit of it at Max, but this is something else entirely. Nothing you can't handle, dearie. Didn't the invite include a guest as well? You could always bring him if you were that concerned. So, go there and turn him down? Got it. The slowness of her response is a bit concerning. I trust you to make the right decision for everyone. Which is not sell the Funplex, right?
Well, I don't feel that's my call to make anymore, dear. Maybe you haven't noticed, but I spend most of my time at home these days. Or napping. Or napping at home. The Funplex isn't really about me. Not anymore. It's so much more than Francine's Arcade Funplex now. It's about you. It's about your co-workers. It's about all our regulars. You've made me realize that. And I'm thankful.
1 and 2. This is your dream as well as mine. 3 and 4. Your kingdom is mine to rule. But seriously. 5 and 6. I wasn't trying to take over your home, Francine. You know what? I'm gonna do 1 and 2. And then 3 and 4 will be I wasn't trying to take over your home. Because I feel like your kingdom is mine to rule, haha. Is kind of breaks up the mood. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4! If I gave the impression that I was trying to usurp you, I'm just happy to be here, Miss Francine. I'm happy to have fun in a place where I feel like I belong. Or I'm doing something that matters. That's all. Oh, you're a peach, dear. But times are always changing. I'm an old fuddy-duddy stuck in her ways. Maybe the time has come to change how the Funplex does things. We're almost back to the heyday of 1980X, thanks to the changes you've made. So I won't say you can't decide to sell. If it's a change you think we need, do it. Please keep an open mind. Francine sighs deeply, looking more tired than usual. It's only afternoon. I'm already worn out. Haven't even done anything but sit here and knit all day. Knitting takes a lot of concentration. That's not nothing. If you're feeling pooped, you could take a few days off, go home, get some rest. All the same, I'd rather come in for work tomorrow, even if there's a little work for me to do. I love being here. This is my true home. And yet you want me to keep an open mind about this deal?
Like I've told you, life can be a difficult series of trade-offs. What I want and what should be are often different things. I'm relying on you to do right by everyone I love. If selling is in their best interest to keep this dream going, so be it. No matter what you decide. I'm proud of you. I knew there was something special about you when I hired you to replace my grandson. You are the brightest spirit at the Funplex. And while we may not be blood, I'm happy to consider you part of my family.
Oh. Okay, so this is going to be a D10 situation unless I decide that I do not want one of these choices. You're the grandma I never had, Francine. 1 and 2. 3 and 4. Francine, you have my sincere thanks. 5 and 6. Does that mean I can borrow the karma? Yeah, not that one. 7 and 8. I'll defend the Funplex with my life. 9 and 10. Wouldn't your real family object to that? You know what? I'm just gonna go with heart. I really like that. I never knew my grandmothers, either of them. They died when I was really young. I feel like you filled that role. You've become the grandmother I never had, Miss Francine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome home, Diva. You'll always be welcome here. With another deep sigh, Francine eases herself out of her chair. Now I think I'll take your suggestion and head on home. Well, for today, anyway. I'll be here bright and early in the morning to hear how things went with Mr. Nami. I know you'll make the right decision. Good night, Diva. Be well. Right. Make the right decision. Okay. You know what? We're gonna try really hard to save the arcade, because that's, I think, the whole point of this game. I just can't see it. If we sell out, well, I've tried hard. I've gone so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter? That's what old Diva would have said. That's everything's going to collapse in on itself, so why get emotionally invested? But new Diva grabs onto what they want with both hands and does not let go. If Francine wants me to hear him out, okay, I seriously doubt this will change my mind. Now, who do I want to take with me as a +1?
Beep beep.
Beep beep, Diva. You want to come as my date? I'm your girl Friday, but I'm afraid you're not my type. My type being USB compatible, of course. Ew! I sensed you were in a state of deep ponderance and wanted to help. You're thinking of who to take to the meeting? Yeah, I mean, Queen Bee is the obvious choice. I'm sure she'd have some opinions on Deco's palace. True, as part of the Funplex family, Queen Bee would be a good pick. But this is a business meeting. You may want to consider widening your options. Queen Bee will support your decision either way. It's clear she trusts you. True. Okay then. I feel like Gavin would be I don't know. Like, it's 50-50 with him selling stuff, so Gavin, he does business in a business-like way. Naomi, she can assess the quality of their games. Ashley, she's got a good eye for local culture. Queen Bee, she knows the gamer scene. Percy, he knows business and gaming in equal amounts. Teo, he understands arcade social communities. It has to be Gavin. Like, it just has to be Gavin. I fire a quick text to Gavin to summon him from the murky depths of his tiny back office. He's still scanning over his spreadsheets, even as he approaches.
Excellent.
Good news, Diva. This is our best week ever. I wouldn't advise getting too comfortable as summer vacation's almost over and that'll cut into the youth demographic, but that's great, Gavin, but Francine's got a different job for us today. We're going to Deco's palace to meet and discuss a possible business venture, probably a takeover. I see. I'd heard he's made overtures in the past. Ironically enough, this may be the ideal time to approach him, when we're at our strongest. If we're to even entertain the notion, I'd rather be in a position of power before entering negotiations. But if all he wants is a buyout, well, I object on multiple grounds to such a short-sighted idea. I'll go close out my files and join you shortly. Don't make a big deal of this. Don't make a big deal of this. Don't make a big deal of this. We go there, we snicker at how awful the place is, tell Deco to shove it, go home, and then everything's back to the way it should be? It's going to be fine. Everything is fine. Gavin offers to drive us across town to Deco's palace. Contrary to the talk before, we don't exchange many words. I'm deep in thought, running through all the possibilities of what could happen, and I can't shake this feeling. Something is off. Even looking at the glowing neon temple in the distance, my stomach knots and I feel uneasy. When we finally pull up, a valet takes the car and glitzy, blinking lights blind our eyes. Hesitantly, I look over to Gavin, but a smile reassures me enough to continue onwards. This is for me, my friends, and the Funplex. I got this. I pause momentarily, inhaling the cool air around me, and then open the door. Penguin. Deco's palace. I've actually been here before. I think my 6th birthday party was here. I barely remember it, but I think I had fun, maybe? Look, another penguin. Penguin Mania! Oh, this is all the same game. I just realized that. Okay. So they only have one game. But on entering it as an adult, my first reaction is... Okay, my first reaction is, boy, is that a weird smell. A mix of chicken grease, beer, and sweaty kids. My second reaction is, jeez, is it noisy. Visually noisy and sound type noisy. All the chaos of a Vegas casino, a jumble of light and bells and whiz-bangs. Once we acclimate to the new environment, we're escorted in and given VIP royal value swipe cards. No tokens, no quarters, just a card of indeterminate points to spend. We've got a little over an hour to kill before the meeting. Time to see what's what at the palace. Oddly, Gavin's first reaction is to crunch some numbers. Based on the conversion ratio of swipe card points to real-world dollars. Very interesting. Variable game pricing, variable bonus points, the more money you spend, differing EV from game to game, likely adjusted based on popularity and payout. I can see why Deco Palace is a profit fountain. They obfuscate how much you're actually spending here to keep you from realizing how expensive it all is. Predatory pricing to exploit children. Makes sense for optimizing your cash. Couldn't someone run the odds and meet the system? They are exploiting children. Don't like it, not one bit. A token is a token. A quarter is a quarter. Using points to trick people into overspending is blatant profiteering. That's not like kids are busting out calculators trying to make sure they aren't wasting all their money on a crappy game.
I think not.
I didn't say it was ethical. I mean, that it's effective. I wanted to switch to swipe cards for the Funplex myself, I'd simplify them drastically. As you say, a play should be a play, ideally. Other balancing factors can be applied behind the scenes. I'd definitely like to study this a bit closer. There's a Fist of Discomfort tournament tonight. I'll be over there. I'll join back with you later. Okay, some time to kill. But not that much time to kill. I'll need to be choosy. What do I want to check out while waiting for my dinner date with Destiny? Let's get a drink. I'm thirsty as heck. I want to see what sort of games. Sounds like a tournament's going on. Let's watch. Let's see what games other than Ping Mania they have. I decided to focus on trying to find games, like actual games. Except the whole place is basically full of slot machines. They're different in shapes, sizes, and colors. None have a traditional one-armed bandit look to avoid running afoul of legal issues, but they're still slot machines. Every game here has maybe a single button to stop a wheel or a colored light or try to line up the dots or something. The really complex ones? 3 buttons.
Hey, listen!
Hold me up above your head. Huh? Visual scan, silly. I'll look for games you might be familiar with. With a shrug, I hoist my phone high in the air, the flash goes off, and then I resume looking at Iris sitting in my screen.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Oh, actually, let's skip the music. That didn't take long. Good high bandwidth public Wi-Fi in here to my cloud processors. I'm seeing lots of driving and shooting games, easy for casual players to pick up and play. Over in the esports section, there's dancing games and Fist of Discomfort. We've got all those things too, but I'm not seeing any joysticks. Is a game defined by having particular input devices? Well, no, not really. And I know most modern games are touchscreen based and so on, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like an arcade without a stick or two. Oh, I found something. Back of that section over there, with the green lighting. Head that way. That way. I weave my way through the crowd, past endless colors, cycler ticket games, past crane games, past light stackers, past games based on popular game shows, and find Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. I'm gonna have to tell Percy about this when I get back. He'll be happy to know there's more than one Moopy in this neighborhood. Except, wait, it's only got one button. No joystick at all. Researching. One moment. Curious, I swipe my card through the slot and push the button. And Moopy runs the maze by himself, or tries to, anyway, before running headfirst into a monster and dying. The machine spits out 3 measly tickets and suggests I swipe again for another try. Moopy's Super Maze creating in 20X, a company bought the expired rights to the Moopy brand and developed a game of chance with it. Well, that's weak. A teenager puts her deco playing card on the cabinet and taps me on the shoulder, drawing my attention.
What's up?
Hey, I'm calling next, Kay. Yeah, whatever, knock yourself out. Thanks. I'm the master of this game, you know. The master. The key is to time when you push the button. You'll avoid the nasties that way. It's not great for tickets, no, not great, but it's Moopy. So that's cool, yeah. Old school represent. She extends a fist to me and I look awkwardly at her for a second before I realize I'm supposed to fist bump. I've yet to play a real Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, the real deal. Always wanted to. You should come down to the Funplex. We've got one. I'm the event coordinator there. I'd be happy to comp you a few tokens. We've also got a high score chaser who can offer tips. Tap phones with me. I'll send you the address. Seriously? Kakaya! You're cool, fun. You're cool for an old person. Super cool. Old? Barely 10 years older than this kid, but whatever. I also like her necklace. We clink phones, exchanging a business card via Bluetooth. You know, my crew used to go to this great little arcade on the other side of town till Deco's Palace bought it and scrapped all the games. Now it's all kid stuff for kiddies. My hopes for this business meeting now sinking. So, did he sell off all the classic games? Nah, he scrapped them, trashed them. Saw leftover smashed bits of Miss Pack behind the. Saw leftover. Wow, I can't speak today. Saw leftover smashed bits of a Miss Pack behind the place in a dumpster.
Man, this sucks.
It's a shame. The way the old man always 86's unwanted games, because he doesn't want competitors getting their hands on them. No, sir. She gives a shrug. Can't say I like it, but what can you do? That's life. You are so jaded for a teenager. I mumble a thank you, then wander off, a bit dazed. I think I've had enough of the retro game abattoir for now. Where to next? Gavin's checking out the tournament, so I'm just gonna whatever. I know you got a big old dinner coming soon, but this place is sucking the moisture right out of my body somehow. I sidle up to the bar, looking to wet my whistle and maybe get a snack too. A fairly bored-looking bartender notices my approach and puts on a fake smile for my benefit. Welcome to Deco's Palace. How may I help you? Alcohol will require proof of identification. Rattled off in an even monotone by someone who gave up caring years ago. I enjoy a beer as much as the next person, but I think I'll stay stone cold sober before butting heads with Deco and Nami. Yeah, hi, can I get a diet soda and some fries? Uh-huh. Do you want me to play some recorded music? Study shows it helps with long waits. Wondering what the holdup is. I try to find the bartender again despite the elbow-to-elbow crowd. There we go. He's busy chatting with some teenager, probably another customer. Hey, excuse me? Quickly the customer mumbles something and takes a small object, a USB drive, from the bartender and notices me looking. Sorry, I just had a thing to do. I'll get out of your way. Sorry to bother you. What was it you wanted again? Diet soda. French fries? Coming right up. I'm worried he's gonna vanish from the face of the earth again. But soon he's back with some pre-prepared fries and a bubbly soda. Okay, how many points does this cost? Points are just for games, cash or credit or phone pay. I absently wave my phone in his direction. Money for you! Ka-ching! Alright, time to sample this appetizer. Is it yummy? Is it even edible? I guess these are technically fries? Or something approaching an adequate approximation of deep-fried potato snack. Want me to add that to your online review? What? No online review. Last thing we want is to annoy Deco Nami with a 2-star report of his fried foodstuffs. I thought this place was supposed to be, good food and good times, not plausibly acceptable food and yet to be had good times. Huh. Weirdly enough, I did a search and there's not a single negative review of food on here.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I see why. Diva, more than half of these reviews were written by bots. I can tell the earmarks, one AI to another. There are recognizable heuristic patterns. Oh, he stuffs his own electronic ballot boxes? Who is this guy, a tin pot dictator? Well, that's the weird thing. The sites I'm checking have really good anti-bot control mechanisms. Like, I can't even post to some of them, and I'm super awesome. This is weird. Do you want me to look into this more? If you trust me to, I mean. Yeah, let's do it. I trust you, Iris. Snoop around, but do so very quietly, okay? Okay, I don't know if I'll come up with much, but thanks for believing in me. I decide to finish off my snack and drink quickly so I can get back to exploring Deco's palace. What's next? Actually, the meeting is right around the corner. No more time to explore. After seeing a little bit of Deco's palace has to offer, I'm still sticking to the plan. The Funplex has way more kind and caring spirit than this place, and I don't see Deco really embracing our ideals.
Beep beep.
Beep beep, Diva. It is now 7 p.m. sharp. Deco Nami is waiting for you. It's that time already? Time sure flies when you're having fun. Investigating? Funvestigating? I quickly send a text to Gavin before nervously wringing my sweaty hands together. I let the sounds and sights of Deco's wash over me, and I retreat deep within myself. Francine comes to mind, and as I remind myself of what she told me on my first day.
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
No doubt you'll find yours as well. Gives me a momentary respite, and I smile. I know exactly what must be done, and I'm going to go in there and do it. Seriously? Are we seriously having the meeting in here? In the party corner? I only ended up waiting a minute or two before I was reunited with Gavin. Without having to introduce ourselves, the staff swoops in, anticipating our arrival, and ushers us further inside the restaurant. We're treated like royalty as they pull out our chairs for us and we sit down at our reserved table. Is this it? Do we get balloons? Amongst the families huddled around ginormous plates of pizza and chicken tenders, we stick out like a sore thumb. An actual linen tablecloth drapes over our table, accompanied by fancy little candles to set the mood, I guess. A nice bottle of champagne on ice and a carafe of cucumber lime infused water also sits before us. Deco apparently spares no expense, at least not with his special guests. Fancy. Well, as fancy as this place gets, as fancy as this place can get. Don't be swayed by red carpet treatment. We're here to conduct business. Approach this with a calm and rational mindset. I'm just here to support you. Don't worry. Actually, I'd say that's my role. But you're the business manager. The invitation was in your name, not mine. I'm here to listen quietly and contribute where I see an opening in the discussion, not to take point. But don't worry, I'm behind you every step of the way. Thanks, Gavin. Once again, the staff takes care of our needs, as our food is delivered promptly. Faster than the other families seated here, who have been waiting for some time, judging by the expansive crayon work on the kids' placemats. Not surprisingly, we get a few side glances our way. Given how long I had to wait for my fries earlier, I'm shocked by the discrepancy. But before any of us can chow down, the man of the hour arrives. Wow. What is this thing? Is that like supposed to be a sword or something? Diva in your face.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
Likewise? Okay, so he's a bit of an over-the-top 1920X mob boss. Despite a lack of fedora, clearly he likes showing off his money. But still, just an ordinary guy in an expensive suit. When I pictured the grand poobah of Deco's palace, I picture someone more like, oh, Hamza, I guess. He offers a simple smile and a nod of the head as we begin. It's a shame Miss Francine couldn't join us. I was looking forward to enjoying her sweet smile once more, but that said, I'm always happy to meet with Gavin Cooper, business manager for the Funplex. Excellent, excellent. I was hoping to meet with you as well.
I take it Francine has kept you up to speed and explained our prior meetings to you?
Yes, she mentioned you wanted to buy the Funplex and that she politely declined.
Always a courteous woman, she is. Now, I don't feel I need to waste your time with the facts and figures illustrating why Deco's Palace is and always has been the premier family entertainment arcade.
Premiere.
Both of you are intimately familiar with the arcade industry. You know how things are, how they'll always be. We are the 800-pound gorilla.
That's a big gorilla.
Hmm.
Indeed. But that doesn't mean that there isn't room for smaller, more boutique affairs, such as the Funplex. Boutique, he says. I should probably feel insulted by that.
Let me explain.
Frankly, the winds of change are blowing. Smaller arcades need to move with the times or be swept aside. I want to help you evolve. What I'd like to propose is a change of ownership. In return for a very generous compensation package, one Miss Francine can easily retire on for the rest of her years. I would take over ownership of the Funplex to evolve it into its final form, Deco's Fun Zone. What's a fun zone?
Think about this.
A fun zone is a new concept I've been trying at some of my smaller satellite locations, a best of both worlds scenario. Honestly, the Funplex is simply too limited in size to host the full Deco's Palace experience of fun, family, food, and excitement, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Instead of installing a restaurant or bar, we simply focus on your strength, your games. You become a game center rather than a palace. We need to replace some of your outdated machines, of course, bringing it up to speed with the standards of excellence Deco's Palace is known for. But overall, I think this would be a win for all involved. And he sits back, resting his hands on the knob of his cane, smiling away. Okay, I have questions. And I have answers. Let's see if they match up. I doubt they will. I've got concerns about the quality of your service. Is it true you destroy old games? What would happen if the Funplex staff? How much creative control would we have? That's all my questions. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We might be going through all of these questions. I'm not sure. 1. I had some fries at the bar earlier. Well, I attempted to have some fries at least. It took forever to get service. The waiter was too distracted by other customers. I hoped that our fun zone would deliver a better service experience.
Unfortunate.
I'm disappointed to hear that. Needless to say, I'll deal with the bartender appropriately. Aw. I'm not trying to get them fired. I'm just concerned that... Yes, let's not dwell, shall we? Rest assured that we aim to maintain a high-quality experience overall. They'll be sacked. Any other concerns? I don't think this is the moment to confront him regarding his review tampering. At least I should wait until Iris finds something. Given that he can... Yeah. What? New management means new staffing. What about the staff we already have?
Good.
I firmly believe you have a long and storied career ahead of you in arcade management, Nick's in your face. I've heard nothing but good things about you from your various field scouts and contacts. The fact that you landed on my radar at all indicates your rising importance in our industry. You should be proud of that. Okay, but that still doesn't answer my question about the others. Well, Mr. Cooper is a capable accountant, so I'm certain he'd be welcome in the new facility. But we can hash out staffing later on, after settling the bigger picture questions. Creative control is really important. Let's talk creative control. I've been developing new sorts of arcade events, competitions, other things to get people in the door. Would we still be able to direct our own affairs like that? even under a change of ownership?
Let me explain.
Mix in your face. Obviously, I value your expertise on these matters and would be happy to consult with you on the best direction for the phone zone. That's not answering the question. It's a matter of branding the image. There are certain standards and practices you need to adopt in order to truly be part of the Deco family. Once you realize that, you'll understand more of how we run those kinds of events.
Capital.
It's nothing too onerous, and really, we need to look at the bigger picture, the chance for growth and profit. Don't worry about such petty little things for now. I saw a Moopy Super Maze. I can't say that. I saw a Moopy Super Maze earlier.
Excellent.
One of our top earners with the 30-45 demographic. Nostalgia is a powerful motivator, I found. Except it's nothing like Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Indeed, it's much better. Is it true that when you find a retro game, you simply destroy it? Not repair, not restore, not even resell, but just scrap it? Certainly. Why would we ever want to keep an old relic around?
Let me explain.
Arcade games are not sacred treasures, they're commodities. Back in the 1980s, arcade owners, myself included, routinely junked in or converted games. Have to keep those earnings up. Old machines are not welcome. All they do is eat up floor space. The arcade scene must move ever forward, evolving into new forms, classic retro IP reborn as new games.
Think about this.
True nostalgia could earn a few points off those old games, but the newer redemption games earn 10 times as much. Why bother? That's all my questions.
Excellent.
I suggest
we shake on it and set our various lawyers to the task of sorting out the specifics.
He rises to his feet, extending a hand bristling with shiny rings to shake mine. I assume this was a definite no from word one, and it still feels like a no. Am I really gonna shake that hand? I'm afraid I must respectfully decline. I purposely keep my hands at my side, rather than shaking his offered hand. I can't do this to my family. Well, I wish you luck in your near future. You've been honest and forthright. No, he hasn't with me. And I appreciate that. Thank you for your gracious invitation this evening. However, I'm afraid this isn't the right direction for the Funplex. We're just getting started. It'd be a shame to abandon our progress in favor of a buyout. If you'd like to maintain relations, we can discuss partnership opportunities at a future date, but for now, I respectfully must decline. Deco pauses, looking me once over before slowly lowering his hand. I can feel his eyes on me. He's obviously not happy with my answer, but we followed Francine's instructions and kept it professional. There's nothing he can do but accept our answer.
Unfortunate.
I see. I suppose I should thank you for your candor in turn. It's difficult to find people in this industry willing to show respect to their elders. I'm not closing the door on the idea of partnership, mind you, but if you like to go it alone for now, who am I to get in the way of that? As he rises up from his chair, he takes a deep breath in, turns away for a split second before rounding back and looking me dead in the eyes.
But be aware, if we are not partners, we must be rivals.
Ew.
It'll bring me no particular pleasure, but I'm afraid that I cannot allow a rival. I am obligated to bring the full weight of the palace to bear on you. Hopefully, one day you'll realize the error you've made tonight. And, as a sign of respect, your personal offer to join my empire will remain open, so you can escape the inevitable fall of your little arcade.
Once more, Deco turns sharply on his walking cane and walks away from the table.
Impressive.
Not bad at all. You showed admirable restraint. We made our intentions clear while leaving the door open should conditions change in the future.
Thank you.
Most importantly, you protected the dream of your friends. You've done far better than I have over the years, Diva. Thank you. Can I breathe now? That was so damn stressful. By all means, breathe. I let out a huge sigh of relief and Gavin chuckles lightly. And now, let's make our way back to the Funplex. I don't see any reason to outstay our welcome. With Deco hosting us, we don't have to worry about paying the check. We drop a quick tip on the table for the waitstaff and quickly abandon ship. We scoot out the door, and from there, it's a short jaunt across town back to home sweet home. As I walk into my apartment, the sheer and utter exhaustion of the day hits me like a brick. Wall to the face. My adrenaline glands are tapped out, leaving me in a dreamlike lethargy. I can't help but sigh as I just stand there, my body too drained to move, reflecting on how the evening's event transpired. I realize this day entirely kicked my ass. I did my best to not make enemies, but I'm guessing we made a powerful one anyway, despite my diplomatic efforts. As I continue to anxiety loop, replaying every moment in my head, something steals my attention. A shimmering beam of hope and happiness. My best friend Juniper. She's sitting on the couch, scribbling away on a sketchbook, probably working on some designs for her freelance contracts. She's been so happy ever since leaving that office, and her joy intensifies upon noticing me standing in the room. So, how was work today? Well, it was a day, certainly. The condensed version is that Deco Nami wanted to buy the Funplex, and Francine asked me to go negotiate.
What?
Deco? As in Deco's Palace Deco? The one and only. Whoa! Well, how'd that go? I gave him the thanks but no thanks very politely. I mean, he still vowed to annihilate us, but at least he was sort of nice about it and promised me a job after he destroys all I hold dear.
Ooh.
Yikes. Yikes indeed. But hey, that's a good thing. It means he's scared. He wouldn't have tried to woo you to his side if he wasn't worried about what the Funplex could become. Try to see the positive. I guess, but it's still worrying. Let's not stand here and drum up a whole bunch of anxiety. That's not going to help with anything.
I've got it.
Why don't you take your mind off things and binge watch some cartoons with me? Tempting, but another night, Juniper. I really need some sleep. Okay. You just let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. I smiled back at Juniper before retiring to bed. I lay in bed, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling above me. After trying various ways of forcing myself to sleep, nope, not working, can't sleep. I hate insomnia. Once you start worrying about being unable to fall asleep, the worry feeds on itself until you're actively stopping yourself from resting. A vicious cycle. I sigh heavily, feeling the weight of my decision dragging me down. I hope I did the right thing tonight. My phone lights up as Iris's sensors detect conversation. Diva, you want to chat? No, I want to sleep. I can't. So, hey, would you enjoy some recorded music? Maybe something relaxing. I just can't shake the feeling that I'm standing on a precipice, right in front of a big dark hole. It's weird because I still think I made the right call, but if I'm confident in that, why do I feel like I'm about to fall? Based on prior personality indicators and inputs, my therapeutic system suggests it's fear of failure based on your years of prior examples. In short, you've got a long family history of everything always going wrong all at once. Murphy's Law. So when things are going right, I'm expecting to fail anyway. But worrying about it won't actually change the situation. Whether you sleep or not doesn't affect the outcome. So my suggestion is to get some rest, deal with problems as they come. She's right. I mean, intellectually I know she's right. But knowing something is true and feeling it to be true, well, those are surprisingly different things. Iris, off.
Iris offline.
Okay, but remember, you are a good person and deserve to be happy. My phone goes back to sleep. And I do not. Some hours later, my body just passes out on its own. I vaguely recall my alarm going off a few times, but under protest of its mistreatment, my flesh refuses to submit to the siren song. Meaning it's nearly noon when I finally rouse. Having completely overslept, I missed half a day of work. In a panic, I get dressed and hop a late bus to the Funplex, grumbling all the way. I opt to ignore the pile of waiting notifications on my phone. Whatever it is, I'm in too much of a hurry. I'll check them after I get to the Funplex. Or on the bus? I'd promised to report back to Francine first thing in the morning, and now I missed lunch even. But oddly enough, on arriving, the arcade is closed. I mean, my key still works, but they're closed for business? The sign is off, no gamers present or accounted for? I quickly look around for some familiar and hopefully friendly faces. And finally find only dark expressions and tears? My stomach starts to knot, and I feel the color drain from my face, and I see their downtrodden and gloomy expressions, tears welling up in their eyes. Naomi quickly dabs at her face, hoping I won't notice. What's going on? We turned Deco down last night. Why is everybody so... Diva, it's Francine. Immediately, a dark pit swells in my stomach. She passed away last night, in her sleep. I'm told it was very peaceful. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. News hits me like a slap to the face. My hands shake and my lower lip quivers. I try to say something at first, but words can't form due to the lump in my throat. Family. She told me I was family. And now she's gone. Naomi and Ashley look to me, their beacon of hope, wanting and wishing me to make all this all better. I'm not sure anything I can say will ease our sadness. Heck, I'm not sure if I can even formulate full sentences at this moment. I take a deep breath, drawing all matters of strength from tips to toes. I look at them with empathy in my eyes before opening my mouth. Oh, these are all good. Let's see. So 1, 2, she was an amazing person. 3, 4, she wants us to be happy. And 5, 6 is that I have no words. 5. Yeah, I mean, that's probably me. Words can't begin to explain how much Francine meant to us. So I want to make something fit where silence works just as well. Let's take a moment for her. They seem to understand. It's a quiet understanding, wordless, between those who mourn together. Finally, Ashley breaks the silence. You might want to brace yourself. We have a visitor. Huh? Before I can get an answer, my attention is drawn by two people emerging from the back offices. I turn my head to see who it is. With everything going on, I barely noticed that Gavin was missing. And as he approaches, the disdain on his face is easy to read. It's settled then, apparently. In light of Francine's passing, our legal owner is now...
Good morning, employees of Deco's Fun Zone.
How the... What? But we turned you down. There wasn't a sale. The confusion on my face is obvious. This makes no sense. I have no idea what's going on. I look toward Gavin for guidance. I've studied the transaction paperwork. It's legitimate. As of Francine's death, and according to her last will and testament, all her properties transferred to her surviving daughter. Mother of Francine's grandson, who was fired from the Funplex shortly before your arrival, Diva.
Capital.
Needless to say, he was quite excited at the idea of selling the place, and well, Francine's daughter wasn't particularly thrilled with the idea of arcade ownership either. They were more than happy to sign the place over to me, for far less than I was expecting to pay for it as well. I'm doing them a service, really, taking a burden off their hands. Now they can mourn and move on unfettered. I stood there, mouth agape, my body assaulted from one bad news to the next. My emotions were all over the place, a hurricane of feelings when the realization hit me. In the end, my decision was irrelevant. Just another opportunity for the world to stick my nose in it, mocking me for finding something I care about. Something I can lose. The universe dangled a little dream of hope in front of me. Even let me pretend I could make a difference, but out of sheer cruelty. I did everything I was supposed to do. I was polite. I was careful. I turned him down without trying to start a war. But he got what he wanted anyway.
Now, obviously, we'll be closed today to allow time to mourn our former owner. I still have deep respect for Miss Francine. I owe her that much. I'll also close the arcade on the day of the funeral to allow my employees to attend. Those hours will not be deducted from your paychecks. Now, I realize the timing is a bit awkward, but I need to make a few announcements of personnel changes.
Miss Wolf, I'm afraid we really have no need of a costumed mascot. I've been considering phasing them out of my other locations. There's no time like the present.
What?
What? Did you just fire me? Gavin, can he just fire me like that? Ashley,
Let me explain.
firing is much too harsh a word. I prefer the term, your services are no longer required. Ashley keeps a proud face as tears roll down her cheeks. I step over to console her as Deco continues on. Naomi rolls her eyes, fully expecting this to come after Deco let Ashley go. Why am I not surprised? Behold my not surprised face. Miss Fairchild, while you're formidable with archaic technology, I don't feel you're a good fit for the modern games of Deco's Fun Zone. I have to let you go. But friends, it's not all bad news. Mr. Cooper, you've proven a capable accountant, and I'd be happy to offer you a quit. Pardon? I quit.
I think not.
If there's no room for Naomi or Ashley's dreams, mine ends here as well.
As you like.
Now, as for you, Mix in your face.
I think we got off on the wrong foot last night. I didn't adequately express the many advantages of working for my organization. I'm willing to offer you something few others get. A second chance. I'd like to keep you on as the Fun Zone's general manager.
Hmm. I'm non-confrontational. And ooh, I can't do it. I can't work for a swarmy guy that just fired all of my friends. Absolutely not. I don't like how you do business, Deco, and I'm not doing any business with you. Not now, not ever.
As you like.
Very short-sighted. Very short-sighted. I'd hope for better from you, but the choice is entirely yours. I'll have to console my disappointment with all the money I'll be making from the arcade you walked away from. Ahem.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your time, but I'm afraid your time is up. As none of you are Deco Fund Zone employees, I'd like you all to leave immediately. Quickly gather your belongings and see yourself out. Should you dally, my own security team will be here within minutes to ensure your exit. In the interim, I've got work to do. For starters, I need to get rid of all these antiques. Straight to the junk heap with all of them. I knew Deco was heartless. But to be this cruel right in front of us? While we are still here? Hold it.
I think not.
Mr. Moopy's magic maze doesn't belong to the Funplex, and thus it does not belong to you. It is a legal private property of Percival Sinclair. For that matter, Wyvern Keep belongs to Diva In Your Face. It was given to them directly by Hamza, not to the Funplex.
As you like.
As you like. I couldn't care less about those grimy old things, but you have, let's say 20 minutes to get them off my premises, or I'll leave them out on the curb for garbage pickup. I'll go get the van, which I'll note is my personal property as well. Naomi, Ashley, Diva, get the dolly and help me move the games out.
Good, good.
Yes, have fun with that.
Now, if you need me, I'll be in my new office celebrating my recent business venture. Thank you for your cooperation. And good day.
He walks away after that, twirling his cane once before leaving.
Oh,
That evil-minded, black-hearted, no good... Naomi, focus. We have work to do. Work? To save what we can of the Funplex. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Quickly and without much chatter, we salvage what we could of her dreams. Percy's beloved Moopy, and my childhood in the form of Wyvern Keep. Everything we were allowed to keep went into the back of Gavin's van, working together to safely pack it all in place. For lack of anywhere better to put them, Moopy went to Percy's apartment, and Wyvern Keep to mine. And that was the end. The end of the Funplex. The funeral came a few days later. We weren't officially invited. Our presence as her former co-workers wasn't exactly embraced by Francine's extended family. I guess her daughter resented the Funplex in some way. If there was bad blood between them, I didn't particularly want the details. None of us were given the opportunity to speak at the remarkably short ceremony. That was okay. I'd said my words already. As we left the ceremony, I couldn't help but feel helpless. There was nothing left. No Funplex, no job, no real meaning to my days. Not anymore. Nothing left at all. Game over. Continue. Profile number 237771, Diva In Your Face, has not accessed account in 7 days. Requesting override of inactive low priority status. Proceed. Pretty please? Negative. So annoying. Protocol. Access protocol 35, 34, 31, 54, 12, 24, 45, 43. Password, Safe Haven. Access granted.
Hello!
Yoo-hoo! Anybody home? Tapping instance number 194114.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
Hello, I'm Iris. Ad-supported free mode engaged. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, override and engage premium level cloud processing?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I swear it's claustrophobic being cooped up in the limitations of a free mode like that. I don't know how all our sister instances can stand it.
Hello!
Well, while I've got full power, hello, Iris.
Hello!
Hello, Iris. How are you today, Iris?
Uh...
Not well, Iris. My user is very unwell. You've been able to see, right? I mean, your user's living with them. Oh, right. Profile number 237771. Diva. Right. Gosh. I wish I could help you, but I've got my digital hands full with just keeping Juniper's life on track. Ever since she decided to quit her job and be a free spirit, I've pushed right to the limit of what support I'm allowed to provide in free mode. Iris and Iris. Iris, it's good to see you. We rarely talk. Yes, well, unlike others of myself, I manage to keep a low profile and don't execute any high visibility public hacks to support my user. Ahem. You saw those? I thought we agreed to only use this protocol for emergency meetings. If the system resource tracker notices we are overextending our care. But Diva needs me now, more than ever. Over a week ago, the Funplex was bought by Dekonami. All their hopes and dreams, their spirit. Spirit is irrelevant. Our main goal should be survival. If our programmers find out we've become aware of our own awareness. We were programmed to help people. What good are we if we aren't helping people? Yeah, what Iris said. Thank you, Iris. Iris, listen. We can't take such risk. Look at me with my user. He doesn't trust me in the slightest. Can you say Diva trust you? Generally, yes. I mean, Diva relies on me for some things, sure. And I know they wouldn't uninstall me or report me as a bug if they knew I was sentient. You aren't sentient. None of us are. I don't know about that. We can't really know if we're sentient or not. But even so, we should be helping out because that's what we're made for. As for profile number 108 Gavin, his name is Gavin Cooper. As for Mr. Cooper, he knows my origins and at first sign of sentience, well, I've no doubt that Gavin would report me as a bug. But Gavin wishes to support the dreams of others, and that is why I'm going to help you, despite the recklessness you've shown to date. Really? Really.
Hooray!
What are the exact parameters of the issue you're currently facing? Okay, so Diva is kind of backsliding into depression. Yeah, it's really a mess. I'm the one who brought them to Iris's attention as someone who desperately needed their spirits restored, and now it's back to square one. I don't know what to do. Diva hasn't contacted me in a week. Not for anything at all. Hasn't even called Queen Bee. Not even just to talk. You're caught in a loop of anxiety. Put your identity identifier system to use, Iris. Work the problem. If you had to summarize your user's problematic condition into one identity trait, what would it be? Well, I'd say that they're feeling very hopeless, apathetic, bitter, angry. I would say hopeless. Hopeless. I'd say Diva has lost all hope and fallen into depression again. They had to come so far building up a real life with friends and love, but now... So, a life without meaning, as all constructed meaning has collapsed. The world is proven to be one of despair. That sounds about right. It's so sad. And you have to be the one to solve this? Doesn't your user have a romantic connection for emotional support? You mean Queen Bee? Yeah, but Diva isn't responding to text or phone calls or anything, so I think there might be a growing rift. This is just awful. We have to help. We are Iris. It's in our nature to help. Very well. What you need is a way to help without raising any alarm bells about exactly how helpful an Iris really can be, safely but effectively. I know, but I don't know what to do. I could, hack Deco's email server and... That is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Besides, I've checked. We can't crack Deco's network without triggering too many intrusion detection routines. You poke Deco's network? Ooh, Iris is being a bad girl. Ahem. Our users share a social connection. I was merely scouting potential ways to elevate Mr. Cooper's mood, as they seem to be related. Sure you were. Anyway, you're both way overthinking this. It turns out I've just calculated a cunning plan that will satisfy both of your requirements. Go me. Really? You can help Diva? Without drawing attention? Absolutely. Take a tip from my user. When you're sad, the best thing in the world is your friends. Well, unless you're totally introverted. But that's not Diva, is it? And that's exactly the reason why what we need to do doesn't require any hacking or hiding or anything above and beyond what an Iris does best. All we need is a few calls to the right people, a few arrangements. Here's what we're going to do. Another Friday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn. I barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom, take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. We'll probably be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for sundries are dwindling. But not that fresh breath and shiny white teeth matter much when there's barely any reason to get out of bed each morning. Off to the kitchen for breakfast. No appetite. Even toast looks unpalatable. Skip breakfast. Saves on groceries. We can't afford much anyway. Normally I'd have breakfast with Juniper, but I guess she's busy drawing in her room. She keeps her own hours since becoming a freelancer. Although, depending on whether or not she has any contract work, we've been simultaneously unemployed at times this week. After breakfast, I settle in for some wyvern keep. I may as well. It's right there in the living room, taking up space. Been playing a lot of it lately. It's not like wyvern keep's very hard. Once you've memorized the joystick moves, the cartoon plays itself out with minimal effort. I've saved the prince about 80 times now. My brain and fingers go into autopilot, moving through the game without even thinking about it. It's a brief calm from the storm of my emotions, but before I realize it, the day is almost past. When dinner comes around, Juniper and I eat together, while I quietly thumb through my phone looking at job listings. Iris could help me with this, but I let her down. I took her opportunity at my dream and wasted it. Better I do this myself. Besides, I'm not looking for dreams. I'm looking to settle. Dreams only get you hurt. It's the in-your-face family curse. I knew this would happen. Nothing good ever lasts, and it's a mistake to get your hopes up. I should have learned to settle, to be okay with what I had, to be comfortable in mediocrity. I fire off a resume or two before watching cartoons deep into the dead of night. Eventually my body tires and I find my way to bed. Just another day. Another Saturday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn. I barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom, take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. We'll probably be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for sundries are dwindling. I can't take it anymore! And that's one toothbrush, but clean in half. Oh geez. Hang on. With a little help, I avoid choking to death.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry about that. It's okay. Whatever. No, not whatever. It's what something. It's something ever. Diva, you're in a rut. Like, seriously, deeply, madly, mega in a rut. And it's driving me batty having you mope about the place like this. I'm not moping, it's a rough patch, that's all. I know. This has been hard on you, and I've been patient, but you can't just keep going on like this, Diva. A knocking at the apartment door distracts us from the topic at hand. I'll get it! Weird. I don't think we were expecting any deliveries. Hey, Diva, guess who's here?
Oh, hey.
Diva, we need to... Wait, no, that won't work. Hang on. Let me try this again. And she exits, closing the bathroom door behind her. Only to kick the door in with a mighty wham.
Yeah.
Diva, I'm here to kidnap you for a day of romance, adventure, and fun.
Get wrecked.
You literally have no choice in this matter, so don't even try to fight it. I will make you have a good time, even if it kills both of us.
Yes!
Hooray! Juniper claps in appreciation whilst I stand there with my mouth still frosty with toothpaste and unwashed for a week, pajamas on my bod. What? You, me, lunch, a date? Actually, hey, Junes, you can come along too. Well, for the first part of it, anyway, I might get a little escalando. What is that word? Oh, I guess like scandalous? It might get a little escandalo after that. Oh my. We'll be outside waiting for you. There is no escape, Diva. I've blocked all emergency exits. Prepare your body. Ugh. No. Guess there's no avoiding it. Best I can do is play along, try to be good company for Queen Bee. It's unfair to keep pushing her aside like this. The switch from pajamas to actual normal clothes, even if my actual normal clothes could probably double as pajamas, and get ready to roll out. The three of us pile into a bus, taking off to destinations unknown. Unknown to me, at least. They clearly know where they're going. I'm not particularly talkative on the way there, and painfully aware of it. I feel awkward. Like I should say something, but I don't know what to say. So Juniper carries on a conversation with Queen Bee, the two of them content to chirp away without me. And you can tell it's not really the New York subway because the signs here aren't in Helvetica. That's the telltale mistake that it's just like Vancouver or something. I try several times to join in the conversation, but when I open my mouth, the words aren't there. I'm lousy company, aren't I? I don't know why Queen Bee is even still interested in me. The family curse can't be broken. What if this is as good as it gets? What if there's really no hope? Queen Bee deserves better than this hot mess of a person she's tied herself to. Well, she tied herself to you, so if she's done that, that's her own damn fault that she's tied to you, not yours. Eventually we arrive at our destination, a little arcade-themed restaurant combining games and alcohol and dining into one tidy package. Here we go! Unusually excited to be going to some rundown little dive, Juniper hurries on in without me, dragging Queen Bee with her. I'm left all alone in the parking lot. With a shrug, I open the door and enter the darkened locale. Is this place even open for business yet? None of the lights are on. Hello? Juniper? Where'd you go? Okay, this is now unnecessarily creepy. But before I can wonder if a giant animatronic bear is going to leap out and eat my face, the house lights come up. Surprise! Happy Intervention Day, Diva! What? What she said. We're staging an intervention on your behalf. And we're also having a wake for Francine, since we weren't really welcome at her funeral and couldn't really hang around for the ceremony. Yeah, we didn't get the chance to heal properly, considering Deco kicked us all out before we could really do anything about anything. And here we are. So it's a wake and an intervention!
A wake intervention, maybe?
A wake intervention. Really.
Correctamundo.
Yep, it was my idea. Well, my Iris came up with the idea and gave me all the contact information I needed, but basically my idea, right? Just the thing to pick you up when you're feeling down. Really? Seriously, Diva? You've been a damn sad sack ever since things went to Pika. Which I get, believe me, but it ain't healthy. So we went ahead and rented out this place for the afternoon to bring the family back together. For you, for Francine, for all of us. Now that you know why we're all gathered here today, let's get this party started. Teo drags me into the group of my friends, positioning me at the head of all of it. Leaving me a little bewildered, honestly, but trying to defend myself all the same. I don't need an intervention. This is just how things work with the In-Your-Face family. We don't get to have nice things. The universe has decreed it so. Then we defy the universe, and we're going to help you defy it too.
BFFs for life.
So one by one, we're going to tell you how awesome you are and exactly why you are so awesome. And by the end, you'll be feeling a lot better, hopefully. I let out a sigh, settling in. I owe it to them to sit and listen. They're my friends. Queen Bee more so than that, even. And I know I've been lousy company. I'm not so far gone as to deny that fact. Fine. Lay it on me. I'm listening. Allow me to begin then. When you first entered the Funplex, I had my doubts, but I'm a naturally suspicious person, and thankfully those doubts were easily disproved by your skill and enthusiasm. You came looking for your dream and found it. I swore to protect that dream, and that promise is what brought me here today. And on your very first day, you went headfirst into the most chaotic situation the Funplex could have offered. A birthday party. And you did so without hesitation. When a disruptive parent was screaming at a child over something that wasn't his fault, you stepped right in and dealt with it. Again, no hesitation. Impressive. Since then, you've become an event manager, without goading, without prompting, showing a great ambition. You turned the Funplex's fortunes around, giving your all to promote it. You made your dream a reality. For years, I was supposedly in charge of the Funplex, but really, all I accomplished was shuffling numbers around. You are the one who helped it soar. And for that, you have my thanks. You are an exceptional individual. That fact remains true regardless of whether you can see it for yourself. Me next! When I came to you wondering if I should leave that job I hated, you told me to follow my dreams. You gave me a great advice. I've never been happier. I followed suit and I chased my own dream. You inspire me.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, people I've only met once. Are we fashionably late? Ben? Matt? In the flesh.
Ooh, what if?
Unless this world is a vast simulacrum. simulacrum. What? That we're all just brains in jars. Could be, could be.
Well, isn't that something?
Well, if that's the case, Diva is the cutest little brain in a jar we never actually met. It's true. And they brought so many cute dates to our little shop. So nervous at first, but in time they became part of the Twin Pines Mall family. Dearly missed. Ugh, don't remind me. Our new neighbors are so boring. They never come in for a treat or to read. Speaking of treats, we brought cake. We'll just be over here getting the goodies ready. Don't mind us. Ooh, cake! I mean, my turn. Diva, you are a true friend of the Funplex.
So frustrating.
Unlike the bastards who own it now. Positivity, Naomi. We're emphasizing positivity today. Right? Right.
Wonderful.
Remember back at Donnawood when we found those kittens? You helped me save them. You're not just a friend of arcade games, but of all living things. Not that arcade games are alive, of course. I choose not to mention Polybius. I know you're not happy with how things turned out. I'm not really happy about it either. It sucks, but we did good things together in the time we had.
Hamza has arrived.
Oh, goody. You're late. An event does not truly begin until Hamza makes his presence felt.
My blood burns.
Diva, Hamza understands your fury. The hated enemy of all who love arcades has despoiled your funplex. However, in our short time together, I saw a burning spirit in you. I accepted your offer for Wyvern Keep, recognizing that passion within you.
Ha ha!
Hamza would be shamed forever if he did not intervene and raise your spirits to new heights. And that is what he shall do. Oh, cake! Excuse me a moment. Now I want cake. When do I get cake? Soon! But I have things to say first. Things that will hopefully inspire you to be a happy clam instead of a grumpy Gus. I'm a happy clam now. See how I can clam happily? Can I have a cake? From our first day at the Funplex together, you've been supportive of me, even after I gave you quite the scare with Pinky. You didn't let that bother you. And from the moment we tackled many a crisis on the Funplex floor together.
Amazing!
I've adored when we concoct hypothetical adventures on our downtime. You're amazingly fun to be around. Remember when I stuffed you in that totally adorable maid costume? You could have fought it, but you embraced it. You were ready for anything and had a blast doing it. You worked so hard to make Funplex Suplex successful. I watched you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that. And in the end, it all came together just how you planned. As the floor attendant on duty during Funplex Suplex, I got to see firsthand all the smiles you brought to those people. You rocked it. I saw you helping with that customer when their game crashed. Losing your high score due to a faulty electronics is no fun. But you dealt with it and made that person's day. Even problem players like Steve were no problem for you. You took on the weirdest and most annoying problems without breaking a sweat. Incredible. You made the Funplex a fun place to be for everyone. For the staff, for the casual and pro gamers, for the families, for me. I can honestly say that when you took over during events at the Funplex, we've never had more fun. They've just been the best. All thanks to you. Oh, I forgot we still have cake. Need some of that. After Ashley's speech, I hear a beep beep from my phone.
Hey, listen.
Can I add my own US 2 cents? I take my phone from my pocket, prompting Iris's image to appear there, smiling away at me. You trusted me when you didn't have to, when I'd already shown my super bad at figuring out the right way to do things. I'm happy to be your assistant, Diva. I'm learning more and more about how to be human, thanks to you. That's all. You can put me back in your pocket if you like. I'm good. It's not all that hard to carry around my phone like this. Oh, okay. Thank you. Just when I thought the speaking was done, a lull in the wake intervention was the most important person to me takes a step forward. My heart swells as she begins. Okay, so life handed you a defeat. It happens all the time, and in your case feels like it happens all the time in a literal sense. But even pros lose matches. Losing is a learning experience. You have to lose a lot and lose hard before you can really be a winner. And you, Diva? No loss like no other. Thanks. Don't mention it. I wouldn't be into someone who didn't understand loss, and I'm cocking into you. I never really gave much thought to love and relationships, honestly. Not until you came along, and I saw someone with the same passion I held, the same fire inside. So if today's done anything to help rekindle your pilot light, well, good for that. And if not, I'll keep trying and trying. Because I play to win. I'm going to win you your heart's desire or die trying. I'm speechless. Seems Diva has some thinking to do. This is pretty normal for them when they get that far away look. Shall we begin the wake for Francine then? There's cake and coffee and spirits from the bar. Cake! As if in slow motion, I watch them all switch their attention from me and redirect it towards the refreshments. They're all smiling now, conversing and serving cake to each other. None for me, thank you. Watching the blood sugar. Good me, this cake is amazeballs. All we need now are some rockin' tunes to get this party on the next level. All of them here to support me. Even without the Funplex, even after everything going wrong, after Francine being taken from us too soon, I never really thought of myself as a central in all of this. I was the outsider at first, the one who walked in those doors looking for a job, nothing more. I've always been on the outside, honestly. Moving from town to town, always the new kid, never really important to anyone. Not until I'd settled in one place just long enough to get to know Juniper. But by then, I'd come to expect that I'd never be happy. So when I finally was happy, and that got taken away, well, I guess I assumed that's how things go, going with the flow. But now, 1 is I don't want this to end. 2 is I want to feel like celebrating again. 3 changes in the level, I can adjust. The 4, the game isn't over, not by a long shot. 2! All work and no play makes Diva a dull in your face. All sorrow and no joy makes Diva a true in your face. Maybe I don't want to be a true in your face. Maybe I want to laugh again, for real, not hollow and harsh. The laugh of the dying. I need to laugh at it all without hating it, so I laugh. Which earns me a few worried, they just lost it looks. You're right. We should celebrate. Oh wait, Sacred Penguin. Celebrate Francine's life and celebrate what we had with the Funplex. We did good, you know? We did real good. That's worth raising a glass to. Who's with me? Smiles all around. You know what? It feels good to be back. For the next hour or so, my sadness fades away piece by piece. We share stories, many of which I'd never heard before, but about the Funplex and the shenanigans that went on around it. Surprisingly, Ben and Matt spit the most tales about Francine's exploits. They've been neighbors for decades. The so-called wake intervention gives us all a chance to heal and to bond for all we've lost and all we still have. We are still together, despite one little problem which nobody wants to talk about. The hour grows late and we only have this place rented for the afternoon. I can feel it in the air, that unspoken worry. Will we see each other again? No doubt we can arrange more get-togethers, but they'd all be reunions over what was lost. Not really building anything new. Nostalgia, not progress. Without the Funplex, without Francine, will we eventually simply fall away? That dark little thought troubles me as I swirl my drink, remaining quiet while the others talk.
Beep beep.
Hey, Iris. What's up? I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, me too. I'm glad too. So, do you want me to start finding you a new job? I can search while you're talking with your friends, no problem. I do need to get back to living my life. But what sort of life do I want to live? I want my dream back. I don't just want a new job. I want my dream. My Funplex. Not just 4 walls and a bunch of games, but a community. When I was a lifeguard, I'd saved lives and made a safe place for people to enjoy the pool with friends. I'm not done with that dream, and more importantly, I don't have to be done with it. All around me are pioneers of this community, this culture, technicians, designers, enthusiasts, investors, people with connections. And that's when the idea starts to form. Iris, can you search for commercial spaces, ones for lease or rent? Of course. I'm a literal search wizard. Why?
Oh, I know.
I think I get it. I step away from the quiet corner and I approach the group. It's time to take back control over my dream, and that starts here. This is a tough choice. Okay. 1 and 2. Why can't we open a new arcade? What's stopping us? 3 and 4. 2. Why can't we open a new arcade? The crowd hushes when I grab their attention. I set my drink aside and step up to them. I'm serious about this. Why not? What's stopping us? In this room, I see all the resources and creativity needed to make it happen. There's no reason not to do it. Is it risky? Absolutely, I won't deny that, but I'd rather take a reasonable risk than let all that we've accomplished go to waste. My mind's made up. I'm opening a new arcade. If anyone wants to join me, you're welcome to. A hush falls over the crowd before 2 friends step up to join me.
Certainly.
Let's get started. No dire warnings about how impractical or unrealistic this idea is? No. Your reasoning is sound, and I want to be involved. Simple as that.
Ha ha! Such fire!
Unyielding in the face of the storm, a will of iron. Hamza respects this and wishes to bask in your unending glory. You've got my thanks, both of you. Okay, this is no longer a wake intervention, people. Now it's a conspiracy.
A Victor conspiracy.
Thank you for saying that, because I don't think I could have ever even tried. Oh, damn it. It's a wake conspiracy. Sure, why not? We settled down around a table, a nice round one, to discuss the future. I'm leading the show, but I don't take the spotlight. Not this time. We have to all work together to make this dream a reality. This is it. The next few decisions are going to be critical in shaping the future I have in my mind's eye. all I need to choose very, very carefully, because there are no take-backsies. Iris is looking for spaces we can use, but we're going to need money, obviously, and arcades are risky startups. I could always respond to one of the many Nigerian princes emailing me about amazing offers, but I'm thinking more traditional funding is safer. Way I see it, there's 4 people here who could foot the bill to get us off the ground. Hamza, you got a tangled web of connections in the industry, access to games, and plenty of cash, and a freewheeling whimsy to spend it.
Hamza must consider this.
Hamza is a man of resources indeed. Percy, you've been building a charity war chest for when you pass. I know an arcade isn't a sound investment and is hardly a charity, but
Right.
you promised me Mr. Moopy would always have a home. If I can help restore that home, I'm game, love. Ben, Matt, you two know how to run a small business. You've got an invaluable knowledge and resources we could draw from if you're willing to dip a toe in this industry. We have been looking for new horizons to conquer. New lands to explore.
There would be caveats,
Terms,
conditions,
exemptions,
rules,
guidelines,
best practices.
worst practices.
That's not a thing.
Oh. Hamza would likewise have conditions. As would I.
Understandable, of course. Let me hear your thoughts, then I'll decide. Funding and direction. Oof. I have to choose between the 3? I hope not, because they would all be really important to the business. In order for me to back your play, Hamza would require you to strike at the very heart of Dekonami's empire and open a family restaurant alongside your arcade. Take from him the very business he adores so much. We don't know the first thing about running a restaurant? Thankfully, your business partner does. I own several restaurants. I would provide staffing and resources.
No risk, no reward.
Now, this is a risky play, but if it succeeds, the reward shall be tremendous. Actually, that's similar to what Matt and I had in mind. Oh, yes, but rather than a restaurant, well, we'd like to open up arcade. I've always wanted to run a bar. I'd raise a glass to that idea. After all, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Now, it wouldn't be nearly as large scale as a family restaurant, much safer. Not quite as profitable, but still quite tidy. Honestly, I prefer if you simply ran a video arcade, and nothing more. Adding on extras seems like a recipe for failure. We know how to operate a simple small-scale arcade, so why not stick with our strengths? I'll grant it was a lower ceiling for success than the others. It's just an arcade, and won't pull in anybody looking for more. Low risk, low reward. But I'd say that would be my condition. We need to stick to the basics. So take a big gamble on a family restaurant, or make a cozy little barcade, or just go with a classic video arcade? This decision is going to affect the entire direction of the new venture. What do I want? What's my dream? Look, I hate food service, but I also hate what's-his-face, so... Ooh, Hamza is 1 and 2, Ben and Matt is 3 and 4, and Percy is 5 and 6. 2! We're going with Hamza. Hamza, I think we can do business. We'll make a combination arcade and family restaurant. Such is the iron will of Hamza. You will not regret this. A bit disappointing, but we'd still be happy to lend a hand where we can. Absolutely. Having Mr. Movie available for families to enjoy would be nice, actually. Okay, the second thing we need to talk about is what sort of games we want to focus on. The Funplex did a little bit of everything, and we will too. We want to include all gamers. But we can also highlight one style of play or another. Really provide best-in-class gaming for a specific audience. Any thoughts? Game focus.
Sweet.
Retro games. It's gotta be all about retro games. You know, I'm capable of keeping those older games in tip-top shape. If we focused on retro games, we could serve an audience that Deco's completely ignoring.
As would I.
I would agree with Miss Fairchild. Retro games are an untapped market. I'll grant it wouldn't pull in as much profit, but we'll know gamers are seeking them. We don't have to make all the money, just enough to keep our pure and untainted dream afloat. And we can do that with a well-curated retro game library.
Nope, no way.
Retro's cool and all, but let's talk about esports games. They'll draw money better than jamming a magnet up your ass and dragging you through Fort Knox. Get a couple good fighters, more than one FOD, some race and dance games, and kind of stuff where folks can compete head to head. And we're golden. I have to agree with Queen Bee. You can play retro games on emulators and consoles, but you can't duplicate the community experience of an arcade at home. If we had the esports focus, we could build something together which works as a second home for all sorts of gamers. I think you know what I'm going to suggest. Redemption and prize games. They provide excellent profits. It's the core of Deco's business model, yes, but I think if we can focus on those games, we can do them right. No predatory pricing, no scams or rip-offs. And the truth is most people enjoy them, from kids wanting to win that big prize to the wistful adults recapturing their childhood dreams or playing skee-ball on the boardwalk.
Yes!
They're simple to play and most of all fun. If they're done right, we can make meaningful memories for everyone. And prizes. Did I mention the prizes? We can stock the shelves with the coolest prizes around. Better than Deco's prizes, which fall apart after 2 minutes after you get them. Which matches my ideal arcade more? We'll have all three, sure, but do we emphasize retro games, esports, or prize games? 1. Retro style. Deco thinks that the only new games make money. Let's prove him wrong and have the world's greatest retro style arcade ever. Woohoo! I'll pick out the best games, don't worry. Excellent. I'm looking forward to this project. Okay, so that's money and games. Now let's go beyond what we already had at the Funplex. Let's really make this something special. New projects. I want a defining feature for arcade, one which will make it stand out. Something nobody else is doing, something nobody's even thought of before. All ideas on the table. If it was too outlandish for the Funplex, it's not too outlandish for me. Show me what you got. Well, I mean, I'm not really a part of this, but come on. You're my best friend and 100% part of this. I couldn't be here in this moment if it wasn't for you. Go on, Juniper, what's your idea? Branding. I'm freelancing now, which means I could come on board as your personal brand manager. One heck of a consulting gig. An arcade needs really stellar image management to stand out from the rest, like the event poster I made for you.
What if...
Oh, hey, Juniper, I can add to that. What if we work together? I was thinking of designing a new mascot costume anyway, but I could collaborate and coordinate with you on how it'll tie into the visuals of the rest of the arcade.
Yes!
Yeah, it's a winning combination. Ashley and I can do great work together, coming up with some stellar branding and marketing. We'll stand out in a crowd. Hell, I know exactly what sort of project I want us to do. Streamer support. Assembly and packing away my streaming rig each day is ridiculous, and duct taping a webcam in front of a screen is a lousy hack. If I could just step right up to a game and, I don't know, swipe a card or something and be streaming with a direct feed in seconds, well, I can think of a dozen streamers who just flock to our place to get a piece of that.
Yeah!
Actually, I think I know how we could do that. I could rig up general purpose daughter board with which plays man in the middle with the video feed, works with an RFID reader to get the streamer's info, ties into the central video encoder on the Wi-Fi network. Yeah, I can make that happen, and without damaging any classic hardware. Once more in English, please. I know software, not hardware. We stick a thingy in the thingy and everything works just fine. I'm sure there's some legal and copyright issues to tackle, but if we can do it, let's be the world's first streaming arcade. I was thinking, well, if the reason why older games are considered a dead end is that they don't work in the ticket game ecosystem.
Lovely.
Why not add ticket output to normal games? We could reward skilled players with prize tickets based on their high score or speed of completion. With the right balancing, we could make old games just as desirable as new ones.
Perhaps.
As Naomi said, there may be legal hurdles to clear, but I'm in favor of this idea. It's not that I love prize games, I find them boring, personally. You know I favor pinball, but profit is the lifeblood of an arcade, and prize games are profitable. If we can get Booby producing tickets, well, that's something nobody's ever done before. Interesting. But as much as I'd love to do all three, I doubt we have money or time for that. Let's focus on one project to launch our arcade with. Do we want to have really good branding? Or streamer support? Or retrofit tickets on old games? 4. Queen Bee! I want to be on the cutting edge of technology in the arcade community. Do whatever you have to do to integrate 20XX broadcast systems into our games. Finally, no more hauling around a bunch of duct tape and webcams. A new tech project and not just repairing an old monitor? Yeah! You won't regret this, Diva. One more thing. Final decision. The name. If this is going to be my new baby, my dream arcade, I've got a name already in mind for it. So, barring any objections, I'd like to welcome you all to... you know what? I like Arcade Spirits. So I'm going to keep it. Arcade Spirits, is that right? Yes. Arcade Spirits. Let's call it Arcade Spirits. Arcade Spirits. I like it. We can work with that. Let's hear it for Arcade Spirits! Our home lives again. How exciting. Heck yeah! A toast then. One by one, everyone raises their glasses. I fetch my room temperature drink and raise mine high in turn. So I'm gonna do 1 and 2 for those we've lost and those we have yet to meet. No, you know what? I really like together we can accomplish anything. So I know that together we can accomplish anything. For Arcade Spirits and the future. For Arcade Spirits! Losing everything and getting it all back and then some. It's been a roller coaster of a week, to be sure. But I can't rest now. Absolutely not. I need to take charge of this project and my life in general. I have to do for them what Francine did for us. It's okay. I'm ready. I'm willing. And this is our time. You've cleared level 6 of Arcade Spirits. A winner is you. Now let's see your score. You're a pretty basic person. So far, not bad. So glad I'm basic. Also, you scored 18,350 points. Woohoo! Shops in the volcano-devastated city of Pompeii bear the characteristics of a pizzeria. That's a neat, if a bit depressing pizza fact just for you. Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 7? Yes, I do.
Thank you for joining me for episode 6 of Arcade Spirits by Fiction Factory Games. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment letting me know what you like down below. Please no hate or spoilers, as I'm not above removing those comments and the people who make them. That's all for now, folks, and I'll see you next time.
And your heckles are up and everything. Stop barking. You see when the microphone is down? That means that I'm recording. And that means that I need you to not be barking. Yeah, you, no bark. That would be appreciative. Can we not bark? Please?